So let us move forwards and come to the 21st Sutra of second chapter. So 21st Sutra talks about what is the purpose of everything whatever is seen by the seer. So it says tadartha eva drishya ayatma या फिर तदर्थ इव दृश्यस्य आत्मा. So tadartha means for that purpose, iv is only drishyashva of the scene or prakriti, or atma means existence or nature. So the essence of the scene, basically whatever the essence is there of the scene, exists only for the purpose of the seer. It is only meant for the purpose of the seer. So this sutra elucidates the philosophical relationship between the Purusha, that is the consciousness, and the Prakriti. So it talks about the basic relationship between the Purusha and Prakriti. According to Maharishi Patanjali, the entire existence of Prakriti is subservient to Purusha. Prakriti has no independent purpose or goal. So Prakriti doesn't have its own independent purpose or goal. Its only function is to provide experience and liberation for the Purusha. So it exists for the Purusha, and through Prakriti, Purusha experiences the different types of experiences in the world, and finally it can liberate itself. So Prakriti encompasses all material existence. So whatever you see around you is nothing but Prakriti, including your mind, including your senses, your external universe. Everything is made up of Prakriti. It operates under the three gunas, that is Sattvic, Rajasic and Tamasic, and serves as the medium of the different aspects of Purusha, or the medium of the journey which Purusha basically completes. So this relationship is like a means to an end. Prakriti exists solely for the growth and the emancipation of Purusha. So Prakriti is created, you can say, or Prakriti is only present to provide growth to the Purusha and to finally provide liberation to the Purusha. Now, what is the experience of Purusha? So the interplay of Prakriti's elements creates various life experiences. So interplay of Prakriti's elements, that is 5 great elements, and the composition of those 5 great elements, the vrittis, the kleshas, they create various life experiences. Because of your raga and dvesh, you experience many life experiences. Now through these, the Purusha becomes aware of transient nature of existence and its own eternal unchanging essence when Purusha is able to realize itself. Then second thing is, after experience of the Purusha, the second thing what we have to understand is liberation of the Purusha. So Prakriti also serves as the stage upon which Purusha attains Kaivalya, or liberation. So when Purusha is completely cut off from the Prakriti, or it is able to detach itself from the Prakriti, so by observing and eventually detaching from Prakriti, Purusha realizes its true nature is nothing but consciousness. It is a pure consciousness, independent of any material existence. So it is the purpose which Purusha has to understand, and that is the reason all the great saints and sages have told that the ultimate aim of every individual soul is to realize its own pure consciousness. So Maharishi Vedavyas in his commentary compares this relationship of Purusha and the Prakriti to a horse and rider. A horse is compared with the Prakriti. Now horse is the medium that enables the rider to undertake the journey. So without horse, the rider cannot complete its journey. So without Prakriti, Purusha cannot complete its liberation, the experiences. So the horse or the Prakriti is the medium that enables the rider or Purusha to undertake the journey. The rider cares for the horse. the Purusha definitely takes care of the horse, but horse existence is meaningful only in the context of journey. Once the journey is complete, liberation is achieved, the role of horse ceases. So it is very, very clear that the role of Prakriti is only till the Purusha acquires the Kaivalya. Similarly, Prakriti is instrumental for Purusha's journey towards self-realization. So it is very important that Prakriti has to be there for Purusha to have all the experiences and ultimately helping the Purusha to realize its own pure consciousness. Once liberation is achieved, Prakriti's function ends with respect to that of individual Purusha. So individual Purushas and multiple Purushas, millions of people, ultimately understanding that they are the part of that supreme consciousness, and that is the reason they say energy is always energy. You cannot differentiate that energy can be divided into different parts, because energy, it is something like which cannot be created, which cannot be destroyed also. So Vyas emphasizes that Prakriti is entirely subservient to Purusha. He explains that Prakriti exists only to provide experience and apavarga to Purusha. So what he says, Maharishi Vedvyas says that Prakriti is entirely subservient to Purusha. And he explains that Prakriti exists only to provide bhog and apavarga to the seer. So bhog is experience and apavarga is liberation to the seer. The entire cosmos is Prakriti's manifestation. Whatever you see around you, whatever you experience around you, it is nothing but Prakriti. So the entire cosmos is Prakriti's manifestation designed for evolution of Purushas. These all the things, whatever you see today, whatever you see around you, it is only meant for Purusha for its liberation. Vyas further highlights that Prakriti has no independent will or purpose. So Prakriti doesn't have its own independent will and purpose. Its very existence depends on its service to Purusha. Like oil and water in an emulsion, Prakriti and Purusha appear to be intimately blended but remain fundamentally distinct and separate. So basically, every human form is nothing but the combination of Prakriti and the consciousness. So once the consciousness understands that this form is only to make that consciousness understand what is its real nature and real purpose, automatically everything becomes normal. So now let us go what Adi Shankaracharya says. Adi Shankaracharya builds on Vyasa's insight and stresses the non-dualistic aspect of relationship. Shankara states that while Prakriti appears real to the unawakened Purusha, it is ultimately an illusion or Maya when viewed from the perspective of higher knowledge. So whatever an experienced person sees from that eyes, that experienced eyes, that yogic eyes, that non-attached eyes, whatever he sees around him, for him everything becomes a Maya. And that is the reason he is not attached to it, and this is nothing but an illusion. So Prakriti is a vehicle for Purusha's experience which leads to self-awareness. The ultimate goal of Prakriti is to withdraw, like an actor exiting the stage after their role is complete. So once their role is complete, liberation is achieved, then cease. Liberation is not a change in Purusha, but a recognition of its eternal changeless nature. Shankara compares the seer and the seen to the sunlight and reflecting surface. The light, Purusha, illumines the surface, Prakriti, making it visible, but the surface has no light of its own. So whatever is reflecting on the Prakriti, that only is the reflection of that reflection is the reflection of the Purusha, the supreme light. So if we understand its connection with the Sutra number 18, so which explains about the purpose of Prakriti is experience and liberation, that is your bhog and apavarga. Here Patanjali reiterates that Prakriti exists solely to the purpose and fulfillment of the seer. So it is very, very important that we understand whatever is created around you, it is created around you for your own experience, and it is created around you for you to understand that ultimately this is the vehicle which will take you towards the ultimate liberation.